with my special guests Brady and Chris. We're got a big treat for you today. We got a little lineup of toasted and double oak, which is the same thing. I didn't know that. Brady, you want to talk to us about the 1910?
The 1910 is Old Forester's, just normal trademark bourbon, about 4 to 5 years old, and then they emptied it into a second barrel, a toasted barrel. It's double oaked at 93 proof, and the MSRP is about $55.
All right, and then Chris, you want to do the Woodford or the basil?
Seeing how I haven't had the basil, I'll go with the Wilford Double Oak. This is just gonna be just a sweet, sweet, delicious tasting bourbon here. If you haven't tried it by now, definitely one of my go-to morning drinks. Drink it with breakfast. You know, it's like a good. It's got a slight maple to it. Low proof. You know, it's only sitting in at 90 proof, so it's good. It's got that oily taste on your tongue. It's really a delight.
And when he said morning drink, he's talking on the weekend. Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day.
Yeah, so the Basil Hayden is a pretty unique. They came out with a great line of bourbon. This one is one of my favorite. I've done a quick review on it. If you go back and check my videos out, you'll see I talk about that one. I've talked about the subtile. Can't pronounce it right now. And then you got the sherry wine finish. It's a great selection. Next, what was the other one we saw the other day was the
Malted rye.
The
malted rye. Yeah, I think that's going to be
People are
delicious.
highly raving on the malted rye right now everywhere that I've looked at.
And rye is one of my favorite, and the malted is starting to become my favorite after I had that new riff. The new riff had a good malted flavor, almost like a Scotch kind of, you'd say, but it's very unique. But so we're starting from right to left, and we're gonna try to guess. We got our glasses lined up.
We got color-coded stickers on the bottom, so at the end we'll rank on personal preference, and then look at the color on the bottom, and it'll tell us which bottle's which.
All right, let's give it a try. I don't know, this one's got to be the 1910. It's a different smell. I'm used to the Woodford Reserve.
It's got a graham cracker smell to it.
Yeah, this is definitely my first one is definitely the 1910.
Very, very woody.
Yeah, it has a nice little burn to it on the first sip. You get that first burn on the tip of your tongue, and then it kind of mellows out as it goes down. A pretty oaky, strong oak aftertaste, so it's real flavorful.
I'm getting a good balance between the sweet notes and the oakiness. Like, I'm not feeling nothing really like overpowering with the oak. I definitely feel like there's a good mixture, which leads me to think that it's 1910.
Yeah, if you breathe through your nose, you get like a caramel, and you breathe, you get a caramel taste on your tongue when you breathe.
Yeah, I get like a toasted marshmallow graham cracker taste on it, and or on the nose, and then on the taste, as soon as it hits my tongue, I get like an oak tannin, and it's slightly bitter, which makes me think it's the 1910. And but overall, I mean, it's sweet and viscous.
I definitely think it's well balanced. Like, it's not like.
Yeah, it's pretty well balanced, but it has a very unique taste.
I'm getting a little bit of maple now. The more I drink it,
Probably since they switched barrels, probably that's why I'm getting that extra oak flavor. But it's probably more the caramel that I'm getting than the oak.
Yeah.
Has a nice color to it too. It's like a dark, almost like chocolatey kind of color.
editing skills here today. We're no professionals. We're just a couple of three guys sitting in a basement drinking bourbon and trying to reach out to the world. You know, we're just average Joes.
All right.
So we're picking up on the second tasting. So with these, kind of sit and breathe for a little while so you can get the full aroma of it, just running your nose past the rim. And I think I might be in conclusion with my first decision. I think my first one will definitely probably be the Woodford Reserve. This is probably the 1910.
That initial swallow is just oak power.
This is definitely the 1910. Because I've never tasted this before. I've never had that before. So this kind of tastes that old, like it's been curing, been sitting for a while kind of taste.
I just went back to one, and one is a lot sweeter on the nose.
I think the one is the Woodford Reserve. This has got to be.
It's sweeter on the palate too. I think two is a lot woodier than one.
Yeah.
The more I drink one, the less wood I get, and the more molasses, caramel.
I picked up more oakiness in the second glass as compared to the first one. The first one was definitely more balanced for me.
Yeah.
Initial mouthfeel, it's a good mouthfeel, but you pick up on the oakiness and it stays around for a good 3 to 5 seconds, and then that's when you start picking up the sweet notes of the caramel and those things.
Yeah, that first glass is just so sweet. I mean, that nose is fantastic.
Yeah. So first choice for me is probably going to be Woodford. Second choice, 1910. I switched it.
All right, y'all want to try the third one?
Let's go for number 3. Basil Hayden toasted. This is my.
The nose is really, really light. There's not much to it. Maybe a little bit of like a marshmallow.
I like how even though it's close to there where he just came over top of the second glass, like it was instant boom. Almost like a citrusy kind of taste.
I'd have to agree that's most likely the Basil Hayden, and not because it lacks in flavor. It does have good flavor. I think it's sweet, but it's extremely thin.
Yeah.
And that's 80 proof, and the other two are 90 and 93. So that's most likely the Basil Hayden.
Yeah, it gives you the warm feeling coming back up, and like that's where that oakiness really shows in the pour. Like as it goes down, you sit there for a second, then you got that oakiness that just overpowers everything when it comes back up.
The flavors are great. It's just not complex, and it lacks viscosity.
I'm gonna settle with glass number 1 for me would be the Woodford Reserve Double Oak. Glass number 2 would be the 1910, and glass number 3 is definitely the Basil Hayden Toasted.
How would you guys rank these? Last place to first, favorite to least favorite?
I would say 1910.
You pick glass 2, then 1, then 3.
Yeah.
How about you, Chris?
How's the ranking going?
How would you,
Sorry.
from favorite to least favorite?
I think honestly the way that we drink them.
One,
I'm a
two,
little
three.
surprised in the first one because like my opinion is the first one is the 1910, not the double oak. I think the second one's the double oak because I think the 1910 was just way more well balanced, and like I got more sweet notes on the second one. The third one, the basil toast, I'm definitely like I've never bought the basil toast for myself. I bought it in gifts in the past and stuff like that. Definitely, it's not something that I would put in my home bar. Not my preference. I definitely rate the third glass last.
I'm gonna have to agree with Chris. I'd say that glass 1's most likely the Woodford, then the 1910, then the Basil Hayden, and I'd rank it that way also. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
So we'll go ahead and look at glass 3 first.
All right. Last three.
It's yellow, which
Yellow.
means it's the basil hayden.
Yeah, we on that one. All right.
All right.
Glass
So
number.
glass
two.
number 2 is
Blue.
blue, so it's the 1910.
Ah, yeah.
Which means glass number 1's green, and it's the Woodford.
Hey, that was clutch. We actually got up. Glass number 1 again was the green dot.
It was the Woodford.
Woodford. Glass number 2 was blue. Was the
1910.
1910, and glass number 3 was definitely the Basil Hayden. I think we kind of went back and forth on glass number 2 and number 1 because they were almost similar in taste. But
I think it's up to personal preference. A lot of people online say the 1910 is better. Chris and I like the Woodford better. I've always been a huge Woodford Double Oak fan. They're about the same price. They're both readily available. If you're looking for something sweeter, easy to drink, I think they're both great options.
Choose which bottle design you like the best. Right here. One's tall, one short. It's all about choice.
well, thanks and stay tuned. We're gonna do a quick little break, and we're probably gonna jump in to the Brazilian wood finish type stuff.
Like, follow, share. Tell all your moms, your grandmothers, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers.